A lot of people have the dream to live on the land, but it was when we actually got the opportunity to do it, it was a case of, well, you just have to put your money where your mouth is.
The Tipi Valley was just somewhere that I came because it, I suppose, felt right. When I arrived, I felt like there was a massive mountain to climb, but one that I hadn't seen before, you know. I think we're sort of sold this kind of idea that you need to climb a specific hill when you're younger, you know, go to school, go to university, get a job, and then you'll get to the top of the hill. And I was interested in other ways.
5 years ago, I left my life in England, where I was becoming increasingly disillusioned with society, really. The idea of being off-grid is to me, it's a step from removing myself from a corporate structure. I decided to sell my house, leave my job, and I came to Wales in a little van and a caravan, touring caravan, and that was my life, which I towed behind me.
I suppose I moved out of an area of outstanding natural beauty into a national park, which is a kind of one step up on the ladder, the property ladder, so to speak, in some sense. I've always led a rural existence.
The council bang on about sustainable development, and actually what they mean is economic sustainability, and whether the surrounding area can sustain a new development economically, which is rubbish.
We always believe, don't we? If you're on the right track and you believe that you're right in what you're doing, eventually things work out for you. So they just did. But unfortunately, we wanted there to be some slight changes in law, so that other people would have an easier time of being able to just sort of live a slightly more sustainable life on the land.
Most importantly, I think just living, that is almost the protest, that is almost the revolution itself, is that you're kind of living what you believe, which is very, you know, kind of a principle of Mahatma Gandhi kind of had that same principle, that, you know, be the change you want to see.
Although I kind of lived in a little village near Nottingham, I could just hop on a bus, go to the city and do all the city things. So I used to go clubbing a lot, and I was just close to lots of cultural things, and close to a lot of friends that I'm not now. They're kind of all back in Nottingham and various other bits of the country. So I miss that a little bit, but it's more than compensated for by the great people around here and the great landscape.
We are an intentional community, so the place is set up as a housing cooperative where we share resources. It has its challenges. But the benefits outweigh the challenges. I couldn't see myself going back to England ever, really.
my kids could not believe it when they started school. They thought they'd entered a military camp. Because schools have to over-discipline themselves in order to keep order at all. And my kids could just see the complete ludicrousness of it all. And not only that, they weren't experienced at being two-faced. However, they still got through it all, and the education they received was extremely good, and they've both now got very good professions.
We dragged our kids along for the ride, and there's nothing that says that they are going to want to live this weirdo alternative life when they leave school. Yeah. And actually, we feel that it's not fair to inflict your views and opinions onto your children. So, you know, one day they might turn around to us and say, you know, I want to be a brain surgeon. And if they've not gone to school, or they don't know what society is, then they're going to be, you know, it's going to be a massive uphill struggle for them to work out where they fit. Whereas this way, they've had the best of both worlds.
All I could say, just love the earth and live lightly on the earth, and love the creatures of the earth as we do our fellow human beings.
Life makes more sense to me here, and it's the connection to the earth that is really key here. It's the constant interaction you have with the elements, whereas if you're in a little cocoon in a city, you can shut yourself off with your central heating and then your computers and everything.
You know, when you realise what you don't need, that can be quite a scary point, because then you wonder what you're going to have to do to exist, you know, and will you be as happy? There's all those questions that come up. But if you kind of take the risk and you go for it, then it can be very fulfilling.
The average household will have all sorts of things plugged in, and a fridge and a freezer maybe, and things on standby, but they might have a cordless phone which is plugged in all the time. We have nothing like that. But don't miss it. There's no reason to have all these things.
Often the trap that people fall into is that they replace it with something else, you know, so you might stop using your phone, but you might become completely obsessed with doing research on a particular subject to the point where it becomes unhealthy, you know. So I believe that everything should be in moderation, really, you know. If you need the phone for something, you know, then use it, but just be aware of the fact that there are people, you know, who are constantly trying to sell you the phone, and constantly trying to make you use it, and constantly trying to make you think about using it or bring your attention to it. And that if you can kind of slowly let go of what other people are trying to make you do, then you will have a lot more autonomy and a lot more freedom in your life. You will have what you're looking for in the phone if you let go of it.